Room kitting 101, revolutionize your efficiency. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the magic art of room kitting. At least that's what I call it. Typically, people, when they talk about prefabrication, they're talking about spools, assemblies, pods, or modular construction. But there's actually another option, which is pre-kitting, pre-cutting, so that you can literally install and assemble in the field, but you don't have all of the cutting and fitting and stick building and the waste that comes from all of it later on. And so this has worked for me successfully on multiple projects and projects that I've run as a career superintendent, and I'm excited to share that with you right now. So let me talk to you about how this got started. So we were on a research, this is such a good story. And it's true. We were on a research laboratory project. It was, in today's dollars, about $120 million. Really complex, had a basement next to two other buildings in a remote part of town. It's a crazy cool project, absolutely fantastic. Really, really high-end finishes. I mean, this is like a super high-end architectural building, and it's a laboratory, so you have all of those systems. So it's super, super crazy. All right, so check this out. So I was in charge of a proposal that I lost, by the way, don't tell anybody. But anyway, I was put in charge of an overall proposal to go win this emergency department expansion. And they were, our competitors were penciling in and talking about bringing in pods for the bathrooms and the exam rooms, and then obviously prefabricated head walls where they had to do stick building of any of the interior wall spaces. Well, our estimating team said, hey, J Money, that'd be great for you to propose the same thing, but it doesn't pencil out. It's not in our overall budget. So literally, and probably I didn't invent this, probably I learned it from somewhere else, LCI or the AGC or something like that, or a job site tour. But anyway, I thought I did. Just like everything, I learned it and then I think it was my idea and it really wasn't. But anyway, the concept came up and we invented right there on the spot this concept of room kitting. The self-perform for the company that I was working for already did a great job of ordering their drywall to fit without a lot of waste, and they pre-cut their studs and they prefabricated and pre-assembled all of their headers. Right? So that was really easy. So then the other step would be, can the electricians literally bring in a little blue box and with a pre-kit of parts with the installation instructions? Can the plumbers do the same thing? Can everybody do the same thing and pre-kit what they're bringing into the room so you don't bring out a lot of waste, right? So fantastic idea. And actually, I do want to say after that job where we did it, the electrical companies and other companies that came and toured the project have taken it to the next level, to where now everything's pre-kitted, barcoded. They literally slap it up. Their work package time is so narrow. They can get things done so quickly. It's a beautiful idea. But anyway, I lost that proposal. Great idea though, and everybody loved it, including the selection panel, which didn't select us, of course, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's early enough at the research laboratory to go ahead and do this. So we just went all in. We wrote it in to the contract. We collaboratively talked to the trade partners about it, and they were like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So let me tell you what the process was. But no. Let me tell you about the outcomes real quick. And if you like these outcomes in the process, please like and subscribe to that video. But the outcomes were, we had one drywall gremlin, what I call, and I don't know if any of you have watched Gremlins. It's nearing Halloween and Christmas, but that's a fun movie to watch with the kids. Gremlins are just little horrid creatures that tear everything up. But I used to joke about gremlins coming in and zipping holes in the drywall everywhere to move fixtures all the time because the plans weren't coordinated. I hate drywall gremlins. On the research laboratory, we only had one drywall gremlin incident in the basement, and that's because of a piece of equipment needed the fixture to move. Everywhere else, I swear to you, we didn't have any devices moving because of this process, and we finished on time and it was beautiful. So let me tell you how the process works. All right, so check this out. So the first thing that we did was in the process of this, we would have discussions. So I'm just going to write discuss. So we had collaborative meetings with our trade partners to say, hey, this is what we want to do, and they bought into the overall process. Once that happens, we put it into the contract. Now, if you have a trusting relationship, that's not a big deal, but in the contract it's important that that's bought out and that they can price it properly. So it needs to be included. So we put it in the contract. Then the other thing is we had a full building information modeling process, full VDC process that we followed on the project site. So that means priority walls with prefabricated for spools for overhead MEP racks, for overhead MEP in general, the prefabricated spools. We had prefabricated components on the exterior, all of the typical BIM stuff we had. So full BIM effort, okay? Once that happened, we knew that we were set for most of the rough-in phase, but we needed to really do a good job for the rough-in of the walls before drywall and the finishes. So what we did from there is took the Revit model, which was done pretty nicely, and you have all of these rooms, right, that are throughout. We got the elevations on any of our critical rooms. We got elevations of those and had our internal modeling teams basically put together views and sheets for every wall in those critical rooms. So you'd have an elevation view or a horizontal view of the wall on the left, the top, the right, and the bottom for each of these critical rooms. So for level 1, for instance, we had an entire package of drawings, okay? And so that package of drawings showed all of the wall elevations. It's pretty simple stuff. So this did cost a little bit of money, but the amount of money that we saved in rework and change orders and trade damage and out of contingency more than paid for this, I would say by at least double. So we printed those out. Then the next step is on a phased tact plan, meaning we didn't do it all at once. We would review floor by floor with the trade partners. So this package would go to a trade partner and they would take a single sheet by sheet, and review the lab equipment drawings, the electrical drawings, the architectural drawings, any equipment points of connections, right? So there's like 4 to 5 different locations where they're finding this information, and literally dimension out the location for these devices. And if there was a question or a confirmation from the architect, they would basically put this in here as an RFI, but it would be clouded, it wouldn't be separate, okay? So then once all of the trade partners, and this was specifically electrical, anybody doing backing, the lab equipment, anybody doing process piping, the plumber, the casework and millwork folks, right? All of these people are reviewing these drawings. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Then it went to the architect to answer any of the outstanding questions. Once that was finalized, we basically finalized that together so that we didn't have the work of having to submit 80 individual RFIs that took 7 hours apiece. Literally, this was a coordination package, and it was really quite fantastic. Once that happened, it went to the end users. Oh my gosh, this is the most cool part. The end users got to see where all of their coordinated locations were, and we checked with them once and for all. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I hope you're sitting down for this. Once we had that finalized, each individual sheet, and yes, this cost some money, but was laminated, and on the actual wall in the field, what we would do is they would screw them. I didn't know that they were going to do that, but they would screw the laminated drawing for that wall, the coordination drawing for all of the fixtures, onto that, and as usual, do all of their layout on the floor, and that was ready so that everybody could follow the right rough-in drawings. The inspector actually inspected off of it and signed right onto the actual card. And then when we were ready and we had the spray paint, right, you know how when one trade is done, they spray paint the studs or they use dots, and then the other trade, and then the other trade, and the other trade, and we were ready to go to drywall that or put on sheetrock. This would come off and go into the as-built set. So then this would go in as part of the as-built. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself, Jason, this is a huge process. Well, this wasn't that hard, not that hard, happening anyway. This, right, we already had a Revit model. Creating the packages, this did cost a little bit of time. And the trade partners, this is something they already have to do. This going to the architect and the end users is value added, something we should do, and then this is something we have to do already. So really the only added step was creating these sheets, and it didn't cost that much and it didn't take too long. And it was beautiful. We had no drywall gremlins, and we really stayed on schedule. So that's how the overall process works. And I've already showed you the outcomes. It's absolutely fantastic. And I want you to be able to, we still have videos on the Lean Superintendent YouTube channel showing this and us actually doing it, in case you don't believe me. But anyway, this is the outline. We're going to turn this into a beautifully formatted Canva graphic. If you have questions, please let me know and just reach out in the comments below. We hope you like and subscribe to the channel because we have more really cool content. But this was a game changer. So if you can't use modular, if you can't bring in pods, prefabricated pods, and you really have to design a work package which will go fast, consider room kitting. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.